We continue with the Brook and Shuri flashback from last chapter. One Piece chapter 1185 is out. The title of the chapter is Y'all Better Buzz Up. In the cover reader request, we see that Hancock is honing her cooking skills for Luffy. Guys, yeah, it's great to see Boa Hancock in some shape or form in the manga, bro. You know, like many of you are big fans of Boa. I know that, bro. Some for some wrong reasons as well. So yeah, it's great to see her, and I hope we get to see her back in action in the main story pretty soon. You know, like we have like Cross Guild like forming, and there are many theories going around that Cross Guild may recruit all the former warlords, and Hancock was one of the warlords. You know, so maybe she will join the Cross Guild and run and join the race for the One Piece. You know, let's see what happens with that. So, without further ado, let's go over the chapter. The chapter starts off exactly where we ended up in the last chapter, where we saw like Prince Reuben like adopted Brook as his like sort of younger brother into the palace, and like he started like helping Brook with all his upbringing. And we see the chapter starts off with King Prince Reuben like telling Candle to like make Brook her page. You know, like Brook is going to be like Candle's student to become a knight in the future, working in the palace. You know, so it's great to see like we see like Brook walking in the palace with Queen future I should say future Queen Candle, because this is a flashback inside a flashback. It's a crazy timeline going on here. You know how Oda goes on with flashbacks these days. You know, so we see like Brook is 11 years old here, by the way. So Brook is walking around the castle with Queen Candle, and he's like in awe about seeing all the young, late, beautiful ladies. You know, like Brook was a player since day one. Like this is all I can see from like this first couple of pages. Like Brook didn't he was like a woman's man from like since the early days of his childhood, and we see like Brook going around the palace and asking all the ladies to show their to show their peace, and just what Brook has been doing for the majority of the story, bro. Again, yeah, and we see Queen Candle telling Brook to like fix his manners. You know, like how Brook is like going around and asking all the women to show their panties, and Queen Candle is telling like Brook to like learn his manners. And it's great to see like Brook and how Brook like to see the origin of Brook. You know, it's so insane, guys. Like Brook, for the longest time in One Piece, has been a big like myth. Like we know he's the one of the main protagonists in the Straw Hat crew, and but we rarely like knew like who Brook actually was. You know, like he's just a skeleton, but we knew his flashback with the Rumber Pirates, but bro, like to get his origin like from way before that is insane. So yeah, we continue with the flashback, and we see Queen Candle like enrolling Brook in the school, and Brook is like telling Queen Candle that he does not like the school uniform, but Queen Candle is telling Brook to like learn the manners and like be and to learn the proper nobility. You know, and we see that Brook is like planning to become a royal guard corp one day, and we see a great montage of Queen Candle and Brook, and all the theories about Queen Candle being, like a holy knight or something. This chapter debunks a lot of those things. So yeah, it's great to see because at the end of the last chapter, or I should say the previous chapter before that, many people were like, skeptical of Queen Candle's like character, but in this chapter we get a more deep dive as to who she really is, and it's great to see the more characterization of her. And we see other royal guards in the palace like being jealous of Brook, that Brook is a young kid, like Brook is a student of Queen Candle, and they're like everyone like likes Queen Candle. And we see Brook and Queen Candle training, and this is where, bro, like Brook learns his like sword techniques. Like you can see it was at the end of in the last chapter we saw like Queen Candle using a similar sword style to Brook, and people were wondering if Brook learned from her, and we were right. We see in this chapter, with the continuation of the flashback, that Brook is indeed learning with Queen Candle her sword techniques, and Brook asks Queen Candle, like, Candle, do you have a type of guy you go for? And Candle says, call me lady. There is one man, but he is out of my league. And she continues, she says that the reason she is training so hard with the sword is to be by his side. Then Brook then says a funny dialogue, guys. He says, I bet you'd get him if you dress more like a chick instead of a dude, right? Brook, what are you doing, guys, man? He's 11-year-old, by the way, man. That's not necessary. Being near him is more than enough for me. Huh? Near him? Does that mean Brooke then says that? Does that mean it's me? Then Quinn Candle says, of course not, guy. Bro, Brooke was a funny man since day one, bro. Like, this is insane. We then see Brooke and Lady Candle like walking through the Esperia kingdom, and Brooke asks Quinn Candle a funny question, guy. Like, what is going on in this chapter? I don't know what Oda was doing in this chapter. This is crazy. Brooke says, Lady Candle, don't tell me you even wear men's underwear. Queen Candle replies, I don't. Then Brooke then says, really? Then you've got to let me see your panties. Brooke, your language is not improving. You have to be polite and use honorifics when you ask someone for a favor. And this is the most funniest part of the chapter. And Brooke then asks Queen Candle, would you be so kind as to show me your panties? Then, bro, like, this is crazy. This is hilarious, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We then end the flashback inside the flashback when we return to the present day in the flashback, which is like 70 years in the past, where we see Brooke and Shuri like they're talking in the garden just when the flashback started. And Brooke says there's not a single soul who doesn't admire Lady Candle. And we then see that she shines like the sun over the whole nation. Then Brooke then tells an interesting story, bro. Like this is also a flashback, but we don't see it. Brooke says, now that I think about it, there was just one time a world government ship drifted up here in Esperia. The kingdom was thrown into panic as no one had ever dealt directly with the people of such stature. Prince Shuri says, the celestial dragons? Brooke then says, yep, the pressure was overwhelming. Lady Candle was actually bedridden for a few months after that, probably due to the stress. You wouldn't believe how dark the kingdom felt back then. Yo ho ho. I shouldn't laugh, but it really was like the sunset on our kingdom. But that was just the beginning. You wouldn't believe the influx of news that followed, Princess. The Your father, the renowned rugged prince, ascended the throne, and at the same time he married your mother, Lady Candle. The celebrations across Esperia were as thrilling as a live concert, and then we were blessed by your birth, Princess Shuri. The nation positively bubbled over with joy. People were always saying, I want to see her face, or she is so cute, or she takes after their mother. Oops, I'm getting off topic, but you get the picture. That's why I love your folks. They're my ultimate benefactors. In fact, I would gladly relinquish my life for those two. Check out my latest hit, Relinquish Rock. Guys, this is crazy. So, I'm gonna touch on that part of the chapter about the Celestial Dragon coming to Esperia in the end of the chapter because that is really interesting. It will tie all into the end of the chapter. The way this chapter starts and it ends, bro, it's insane, guys. So, yeah, just we keep on going. Then Princess Shuri says, asks Brooke, like, mommy and daddy, it's always that. So, Brooke, what would you do if I were in danger? Brooke then says, that's obvious. I'd lay down my life in a heartbeat for you two. Is that just because I'm their daughter? No, it's because you're you. You're supposed to say that wholeheartedly without hesitation. Guys, this is so heartbreaking, bro, when you realize Brooke was unable to save her. Like, we see, uh, bro, like, you can tell, bro, like, Princess Shuri, like, she was in love with Brooke, guys. Like, I don't know, man. I know about you guys are mad about the age factor, but, guys, like, this is insane, guys. And Brooke always saw her as a younger student and a sibling, like Brooke didn't see her in that sort of way. So guys, it's nothing weird. Like she can actually like Brooke, and it doesn't have to be weird, like calm down. So we see that montage of Brooke and Princess Shuri over the years, and we see like Brooke and Shuri having their good times, bro. Like and this thing is really hilarious. One of the flashbacks we see like Princess Shuri chasing Brooke with a ghost, in her hand. This is crazy because imagine, bro, like Brooke is actually right now. Brooke is like a skeleton, but the thing he fears most are ghosts, bro. Like this is the irony is crazy here, guys. Like he himself is like a skeleton and ghost, but he's most afraid of ghosts. So this is hilarious. Like a pun intended from Oda. You can see that, and we see like Brooke singing a song with Princess Shuri. You'll better buzz up. Like this is where the title of the chapter come off. We ain't past bought off with treats. We ain't kids turned around by sweets. Bro, this is really like heartwarming to see Brooke and Gonko. But knowing what happens next, guys, like this is heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie. And then we then see like slowly during like Princess Shuri's 15th birthday, we see that the music died in the kingdom of Vesperia. A thick mist shrouded the country, which lingered for half a year. The land's treasured instruments decayed as the mist turned to smog. The island was swallowed whole. Music no longer echoed through the streets. Joyful melodies gave way to the sound of coughing. The toxic smog ravaged the lungs of tens of thousands and claimed the lives of hundreds. The fog will clear, it must. Let's bring on the music's cough. Yeah, Brooke, and we then see, amidst all this like suffering and hardships and pain, Brooke was still singing for the people of Vesperia to bring hope and happiness to the people. And we see Queen Candle like trying to motivate the people to keep on fighting. And then suddenly we are hit with one of the tragic part of the chapter where we see that during that uh, great fog which hit Esperia, Queen Candle passed away after that. We see unimaginable tragedy after another. The kingdom knew nothing but suffering. Even after the fog had lifted, the scars it caused remained. So yeah, we see Queen Candle pass away, and we see her funeral, and we see Princess Shuri crying, Brooke in tears, and Prince King Reuben also visiting like Candle's grave. So yeah, rest in peace, Queen Candle, guys. And yeah, many people who were doubting her, guys, like you might be changing your mind after this chapter, you know. So I'm not gonna lie. So we're sorry about that. I'm sorry for doubting you, Queen Candle, guys. And Oda, man, Oda on a generational run with like offing mothers in the flashback. Like it has been like four mothers he has like offed in this arc alone. We see Shanks' mom got caught, and Loki's mom, then Loki's, then Hajrudin's mom, and now Princess Shuri's mom. Like all the mothers are never safe in the flashback. I'm not gonna lie. From Oda, bro. Oda hates mothers during flashbacks. We then see like we then fast forward a couple of months, I guess, where we see, Your Highness, we still owe the government this year's heavenly tribute, but we can't afford to pay them. So yeah, Esperia is now like struggling to pay the world government their heavenly tribute, and then we see in the palace, Brooke and Princess Shuri are training, and Brooke then says, an interesting line to Princess Shuri. Princess, the way you move sometimes, it's like you can see the future. I'm gonna be just like mommy, I mean mother. So does this imply that Gunko has like future side like observation hockey at this age, like age 15 Gunko? This is insane, guys. Insane Gunko upscale. Shuri upscale, I should say. Bro, I got so used to like saying Gunko over all for a year that I like it feels weird to say her as Shuri, you know? We then see like Brook and Gunko in Esperia Kingdom, like they're walking through the castle and it's like pouring rain. I don't know if it's implying some sort of like rain god Zaza influence here. I don't know. I might be reaching here, but this flashback, Oda, there's a reason Oda put this flashback here. So I'm just like looking all this like clues and hints, like why Oda is like giving so much importance to this flashback and why it had to be here. You know, like there has to be a reason. At the end of the chapter, we actually find out the reason. But yeah, I'm just like looking around and trying to find little details to like connect it to the present timeline in Elbaf. And wait and see. I think you'd be well suited for that, but I doubt your father would be pleased with the notion of you fighting on the front lines, Princess. Father, he seems troubled lately. We see like King Reuben is like is he's thinking he's worried about something, and we then see that Brooke says, "I have an idea why, but there is nothing we can do about it. I will simply follow the king to the very end." Then Princess Shuri then tells an interesting line to Brooke. Don't you want to become a pirate, Brooke? Brooke then says, I'm happy to put my own dreams on hold while I repay my debt to His Majesty. When the time comes, I'm going with you, Brooke. Brooke then says, absolutely not. Try and stop me. Bro, like this is, I don't know, like does this implying that Brooke, like the Straw Hats will save Gonko and Gonko will join the Straw Hats? I don't know, guys. My Brooke and Gonko, I really hope they have a happy ending at the end, guys. Like, they deserve it, and it's an insane like the twist of fate, like how they have like survived through all this time. Like this is like 70 years in the past, and both are practically immortal right now, and this is insane. I hope Brooke and Gonko have some sort of like happy ending, and whether she joins the Straw Hats or not, I don't know. That seems a reach, but let's see what happens, because this line might be a hint, bro. I'm not gonna lie, guys, because they Shuri wants to be a pirate with Brooke, so let's see, guys. Let's see. We then see that Prince Reuben like come telling everyone that the world government is our enemy. This means war. Brooke then says, understood. We then see everyone questioning like Prince Reuben, like what's the matter? What happened? Commander, Your Majesty, I just asked that you tell us your reasoning first. Then Prince Reuben, King Reuben then says, they demanded 1,000 slaves. That is the only way they would waive this year's heavenly tribute. Slavery in the Holy Land is fate worse than death. No way. The government's armada will arrive in 2 months, and I have no intention of choosing human sacrifices to hand over to them. So yeah, we see that Esperia has been like struggling to pay heavenly tribute to the world government after the Great Fog, and now they're like demanding like 1,000 slaves to like human slaves to like pay for the heavenly tribute this year. And we then see that everyone asking Brooke like, is our country done for, Commander? Don't all non-member nations turn into lawless zones? Are they really gonna loot us for everything we've got? Apparently there was another nation, then Brooke says, apparently there was another nation in the West Blue that disappeared too. This is interesting. West Blue is getting a lot of attention lately, guys. Like we see God Valley, we are now seeing Asperia. Now there is like another nation which disappeared in before Asperia. So there is like another nation before Asperia and God Valley. Like what is the world government up to in the West Blue? Like this is crazy. And we then see, I have heard there's all these tales out where the deadly sea wind wails, and about a land that makes the mighty shake with fear, a land they won't come near, a home for the samurai and them giant folk. It exists like all the tales spoke. So yeah, this is interesting. Like Brooke's song, like this could be implying to Wano and the Elbaf, like the way like Brooke is like telling this song, like a home for the samurai and them giant folk, like a man old beaver, a sting and a dill's flea. They say to consider your views. Like this is really cool to see. Like people of Esperia are in like desperate times, and we see like Brooke still like trying to rally the people with his music. This in the anime is gonna hit, bro. Like I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be up there with the Kuma and Genie flashback. Let's see what happens with that, because there might be more connection with the Genie flashback here by the end of the chapter, guys. Like I'm not gonna lie. We then see Brooke saying, "Because we have got nothing left to lose." Wahaha. Hey, that's right. And we then like flash forward to like 2 months forward in the future, and we see that the world government, the Marines and the world government have landed on the northern port of Esperia, and we see everyone like engaging in battle with the Marines. And then we see all but with the Brooke is like Brooke's song is like lyrics is still like playing on as we see a montage of the war with Esperia and the world government, uh, and we see e- everyone like having a clash with this like the Marines, and Brooke is like going past the Marines like easily, like he is slashing apart the Marine soldiers with ease. This is Brooke is looking so cold in this panels, I'm not gonna lie. And we then see one of the guards, like one of the Esperia guards, like telling Brooke, the commander, the enemy has breached the palace. And we then see like Brooke running towards the palace to like protect King Reuben and Princess Shuri. And we see like a little flashback in a flashback where we see that King Reuben telling Princess Shuri that she cannot fight, and because if they capture her, like they will keep her as hostage, and that will be the end of the war. Like then they have to like surrender easily if they capture Shuri. Then we then see like Brooke like having a thought in his mind. Don't you have any crazy ideas now, Princess? It's a radar. Oh man, Princess, the garden we always walked in is been set ablaze. Oh, Your Majesty, the junkyard we used to play in has been reduced to a hellish inferno. You'll better buzz off, you'll better buzz off. The edge of the hell of a sight, 'cause it shines mighty bright. If we finally snap for real, that shaking is all you'll feel. Huff huff, Your Majesty, Princess Shuri. And then we then see like Brooke making his way to the palace staircase, and he arrives in the room where King Reuben and Princess Shuri were there, and then Brooke then like comes to like he Brooke then sees one of the most shocking scenes in his life, and he's just like shell shocked after seeing that. He sees Princess Shuri like murdering like King Reuben in front of Brooke, and Brooke is like shocked, like what is happening. Like he was coming to save them, and he like has to see this sight. And we then see Princess Shuri saying, worried about the war? It's already over, Brooke. Aren't you happy? We see that Princess Shuri has been turned into like Dami reversed it, and she has like horns and wings, and this is crazy, guys. And that's the end of the chapter, and break next week. So, guys, and the most interesting part in this chapter is the room where Brooke sees like Princess Shuri like killing King Reuben. There is like another like someone sitting, another like whole, I don't know who this guy is, guys, but this is most likely another holy knight who has infiltrated Esperia. And we also see like Saint Marcus Mars is also there. He's Sumade like zone form, and he's also like in a black shadow. This is crazy, guys. What is happening in Esperia, guys? Why are the world government suddenly interested in Esperia? That they're sending an elder and a holy knight as well. I don't know. That is that a holy knight or an admiral, guy? This is crazy, guys. What is going on here? Like, who is this new character? Like, so this is insane reveal, guys. And we in Gonko's like Princess Shuri, we see that her eyes have become like Dominative, and she has like horns and wings, like in like the Dominative form, you know. Guys, and Prince Ruben, guys, and he also has horn. Like, I don't know, I'm not sure about this, but from the leakers say that, oh yeah, we can see like King Ruben has also has horns, and he was Dominative. And this new character, guys, I have a theory. You remember at the beginning of the flashback when we saw like Brooke and Shuri like talking to each other, and Brooke telling Shuri about the time when a celestial dragon visited Asperia, how suddenly like uh, Queen Candle like suddenly fell sick for months, and during the time like Prince Reuben like ascended to the throne and became the king, and he married Queen Candle, and that's when Shuri became born. Guys, I have a theory. Like, I know many people are already talking about it, but I'm sure many of you have already heard the theories as well. And we see that maybe what if the celestial dragon that visited Asperia was this guy, like this holy knight, and he actually like it like assaulted like Candle, and he is actually like the biological father of Princess Shuri. And the reason why King Reuben like married Queen Candle during the time was to like hide the fact that Queen Candle got like assaulted by a celestial dragon. Maybe something is going on, guys, because there's something is off about how Shuri was born and how fast the events took place. And Oda not showing us that flashback that will come into play later on. There is something is going on there, because Shuri might actually not be like King Reuben's biological daughter, like this guy, like this Holy Knight or whoever this is, like from the world government. This is probably, I have a feeling like it's Princess Shuri's like actual father, because from what we see, many people are thinking that maybe Queen Candle was a celestial dragon and Holy Knight like who infiltrated Asperia, but it could be that Gonko's father, Princess Shuri, uh, Princess Shuri's father could actually be a holy knight and a celestial dragon who who came to Asperia, and like he assaulted like Queen Candle, and that's how like Gonko was born. Like it would be crazy, like another like insane twist. Like it would be very similar to what happened to Genie and Bonnie. But Bonnie and Gonko will have a lot of similarities if you see in that way. So guys, what is happening here? And this is crazy, and I don't know what's going on. Honestly, this is insane, and I have also seen many theories saying that this guy could be the man marked by flames. Like there is a reason Oda is putting this flashback here, and there is anything could happen, guys. Like this is insane when you think about it. Like this guy, this mysterious figure could be really like one of the pivotal figures in the going forward. And I also saw some people saying that he looks very similar to Shiryu, and I'm not gonna lie, he does look that like. This is crazy, like, and we can see like the shock in Brooks' face, like his whole world crumbling apart in front of him. Like, what is happening? Like this princess he grew up with, and the man who he he debts his entire life to. Like this is crazy. Like, uh, that's the end of the chapter, guys, and